American Leeds podcast out on Spotify. Please like, comment, subscribe, etc. Don't do that enough. I don't do enough self promotion. Um, but welcome back. It's been a long break. I have not made a video in a long time. Life has come at me quite fast, as they say. So, working, grinding, trying to make a living, fight inflation, and yeah, it's been a busy few weeks. My last video I did was on the World Cup. I did not think the Americans would make it out of the group. They wound up making it out and probably ended at their level. So, you know, happy with that, I guess. We'll see how the evolution of American. I think there is potential here in the United States for increased talent. Let's run down the recent LUFC news, shall we? Got it all right here. Okay, first things first. Obviously, Jesse Marsh does a lot of PR during the break. He appears on a lot of American outlets. Athletic. I know there's a UK contingency, but I think the appearances that he made were mainly for an American audience. Then you have him on the Minute Blazers show, and then you have two really interesting and in-depth interview done by Tim Howard, the American goalkeeper, NBC, and then you have an in-depth look, which Leeds United LUFC video reposted um, on its YouTube page as well, about the break. So the PR spin from an American coach continues to be pumped out there, which is good. I think it's good because it's attracting a bigger audience to Leeds, and I think we need to continue to cast a wider net. The club to continue to grow its appeal and revenue to hopefully come to the club and be more attractive to hopefully the 49ers. And we'll get to that in a bit. Then you have Flick pretty much sold. I mean, he looked like he was saying goodbye to the club. You have a reputable journalist in America. He's pretty much the Fabrizio Romano of the MLS, say that he's sold to DC United. Love Clicky, one of my favorite players. Clicky he hasn't been sold. So that makes me pause a little bit. Then you have Diego Llorente, the worst defender this year, signed to a long-term 4-year deal. Then you have an article in America. Whenever an article comes out by the main beat journalist, that signifies to me that they're managing expectations. So it comes out that Phil Hay article is that they are basically broke and they don't really want to do any business this January. And so they want to, not spend any money. I think that is a move to manage expectations of Leeds United. I think they do have targets, but if it falls flat on their face, they can always say, hey, look, we told you, we pointed out that we do not have any money, just like that happened in the fall. That happened in the or in the close of the summer window. Close of the summer window was the same thing. Hey, we've got 2 international strikers. Hey, we've got the best prospect in England. Okay, well, we know that good morning. Good morning from Norway. Well, it is, I think it's like approaching 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast of the United States. I just finished a ton of work. Geared up for tomorrow. Kickoff, I think, is at 3 o'clock my time. So good morning. But yeah, we have the close of the last window. Basically, the PR spin came out. And of course, they were looking at a couple more targets before the end of the window. They wind up getting no one. They wind up, I don't want to say no one. They got Nanto, who wound up being a decent signing, but somebody that they were kind of looking at later, who Jesse thought was not ready. So here's what my bottom line is: what January exposed to me, or what last summer, the close of summer window exposed to me, was that Radz is not rich enough for this league. And I think the man did great. I'm thankful that he got us out of the championship. I made a video last September that said Radz out. You can look at it in my channel, and that had nothing to do with the fact that he was a poor owner or anything like that. It just means to take us to the next level. If you look at the list of ownerships, the net worth of all the owners in the league, Andrea Radrizzani does not have the wealth to compete with even the mid-table owners. And it is extremely difficult if you stand still and just do the math that we are at a combined 1.5 million, I think, over the past 4 windows net spend. It's extremely difficult to compete in this league doing that. So that brings us to the latest news that broke, which is that Radz is hinting at an exit. I don't know. I'm taking that with some salt. I don't know what to believe from this club. All I can look is the actions that they've been taking. Click looks to be signed, or looks to be signed in an American club. I don't know how much revenue that's going to generate. Deal all but done from a reputable journalist in the MLS. Has not completed that move. Diego Llorente signed to a 4-year deal. That signifies to me that that's a cheap deal done, hopefully for a small return. And quite honestly, that's a gamble that's a club that is, I hate to be negative, that's a club that is preparing to go down. It's a club that's preparing to like have a reputable or a somewhat reputable center back in the championship. That is I can't make sense of that deal besides that. It's a safety net. It's like preparing they'll have Diego Llorente in the lower league. He's not starting now. He's been out of form all season long. He's he's in his early 30s. So anyways, let's continue. We have the rumor that Maximilian Wober from Salzburg, a defender, might come in at 15 million. Okay. Look, I don't know him very well. He looks like a athletic, big center back. I think he's going to struggle at this level, much like Rasmus Christensen has. Defenders will struggle at this level under this system. Excellent depth piece. We need depth on our back line, 100%. Could possibly play the back three. And then a rumor that we have to manage our expectations. We have to, we're looking at a couple players, but we don't really want to do any business this January. In fact, we might sell some players, a la Cody Drama. I want to say Cody Gapko, which we didn't get. Whatever. And then Radz might be exiting. Obviously, we're all hoping. We should be hoping that Radz exit. Thank you, Rad Rosani, for getting us promoted. Thank you for signing Marcelo Bielsa. It's unfortunate that it takes this absurd amount of wealth to compete in this league, but now is the time. Hey, Martin, Merry Christmas. Hope you're feeling better. Results went our way so far. Hey, Merry Christmas, Martin. I am feeling good. I am, yeah, everything's good. Just grinding my face off, you know, child rearing, working, and then took on a client, what we call freelance. Just happened to, through connections, do business, and I think it's gonna be good. But anyways, starting up the channel again, doing what I can. I think we'll try to get the band back together, as they say, with Jarrett, Michael, and I. Also, yeah, some other stuff. My wife changed jobs, etc., etc. Life hits you, my friend. But all is good. Getting excited for some freaking footy tomorrow, as you should be as well. So, look, those are my thoughts. I think really on January, what's been happening in December. My crystal ball is broken. What I do know is that the PR spin is out. The PR spin is out. Whenever here, at least, whenever I deal with the beat writer here at other teams in America, and things come out in like the transfer deadlines around here, and it's like don't expect any incomings, that signifies to me that they're basically looking at some targets, but if they don't get any of them across the line, they told you in advance. It's like just it's managing expectations. That's what PR does. So I do think they're looking at targets. I do think they probably get one or two across. Will it be enough? I don't know. Um, so I think that's a good thing. But I think the fact that they don't have any money, or they're not going to be looking at transferring anybody in, I think is a misnomer. I think Rad's exiting this winter. I don't think that happens. Um, Sorry, that comment just disappeared on me. I'm on my phone, but I don't think Rad's exits this winter. I think that's something that got leaked out that gets our hopes up. I think he rides the wave again, and quite honestly, we're gonna be fighting for our lives, tooth and nail, anywhere from 14th to 17th. That's where I see what's going to happen, just because of how open we play. We can't get a clean sheet, and we'll see. I'll tell you something else that's concerning me: Sinisterra being out. That foot injury is going to continue to drag on. I hope to not hope to all hopes that Cindy can get healthy, and that this does not drag on. Good night. Good luck, mate. We might be the only team to go against the grain today. Point against City. Yeah, would love a point against City. So let's preview that a second. Jesse sets his teams up well against the top six. My one hesitancy to think that we can get a result, although I probably feel pretty confident coming into this City game. 2-2 today. I love it. Love it, Jan. Love it. My one hesitancy to think that we can get a result is Tyler not being there, not being that enforcer in midfield, protecting the back line, and then just getting after the midfield, kind of being that annoying like little bee around City's midfield. That's my one like kind of. Otherwise, I would probably pretty bullish on this City game, just because Jesse's best games have been against the top sides. So that gives me some optimism, is that the gaffer has been pretty good at scouting these big teams and playing without possession. So I don't know. I'm not going to give my prediction just yet, but Tyler Adams, I think, is going to be a big loss. And then how informed the front four is, because that's where the press is going to start. Is going to be big. And then, uh, I think the back line will be the back line. I think he'll probably play that pretty safe. So, obviously you got Pascal, you've got Cooper, you've got Cock, and then you've got Christensen in the back line. I don't think he may go to a back three. Um, I think he tried to do that in their first meeting. You're going to have probable two holding midfielders. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with Tyler being out. Um, and then, um, I think that the front four, at least without the ball, will be Somerville. I think he'll put obviously Rodrigo in there because he's been informed. He's his boy Rodri. Um, and then I think obviously Brendan seems to be recovered. He didn't play too much for the USMNT, so he'll be fine. And I don't know. He could play Jackie Harrison. Um, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see who comes off the bench there as well. Um, but yeah, uh, it's going to be everybody's got to be at a 10. So I think we'll get pounced 4-0 like we did in this first match against Pep Guardiola. I do not. So I'm going to go with a score line. And this is head, not heart. Head is saying, hmm, head is going to say 2-0 to City. I think Pep will be up for this one. They have to continue to make pace with Arsenal and Newcastle. Yeah, his boys will be at it. It'll be interesting to see if the smoke screen of Calvin Phillips being out is true, because now I'm hearing reports, or there's some kind of rumors that KP could play, even though he was not in shape for the games. Is Pep going to be playing some head games with Leeds fans? I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just think the PR spin that's coming out of Leeds United is in full force. I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. If I had to expect what happens, I would expect us to. I'd expect us to sell Click. I'd expect us to probably sell Cody Drama, and I'm not comfortable with that decision, or at least loan him out. And I expect us to sign uh, at least one defender, probably this gentleman from Salzburg, and potentially a forward. Although I don't think he'll be an out and out striker because they're just impossible, at least in Leeds United budget range and where they're shopping. And I do not expect Radz, as much as we all want it to happen. I don't expect Radz. I think he is going to sell this. He's riding the wave. He's rolling the dice. That's what this guy does. He's gambling. He will sell the team, but he wants to sell it at a peak, the peak level. And he thinks that it's going to be this summer. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to sell here. He wants to sell here. And if we get another season in the Premiership with two American players, a successful, I don't know, 2-year successful. I'm putting that in parentheses because I'd like to be mid-table too. Coach, then and the 49ers take over, he might have sell it for more money. But I just don't think what the summer made clear to me, the diabolical, uh, just the ball that was dropped by not getting a striker in January. Uh, can't remember the other, but they didn't get anybody, and then wound up selling or loaning Dan James out. which I know Dan James is not the savior of anything. He doesn't even start for Fulham. Yes, 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 yes. But he is a depth piece. He's a piece that could come on at the end to press the game out or to whatever. Like he's a decent senior level player for a mid to lower level team. The fact that you have to loan that guy out to bring somebody in exposed to me that Radz does not have, or Leeds United board, however set up now, does not have the wealth, the the risk, the ability to risk money for the good of the club. Uh, they don't have it, and so we need owners that do. Um, and that stinks. I think that stinks. But it's just the way it is. Um, yeah, I mean, it sucks that freaking an entire, you know, so Saudi investment fund can invest into one club and in a year go from a relegation spot to competing for the title stinks. That's an insane amount of wealth. Um, but, and that's the extreme example, but we need somebody that can come in and at least get to the mid-table brackets because I think it can be done smartly. You know, you can do the academy route. We can do smart transfers. We can do we can start to break the narrative. It's not impossible to do, but it is going to take a little bit of investment. It's tough to do when your net spend for this year so far is negative because of the transfer from Phillips and your net spend over 4 transfer windows. It's coming out now that it's only 1 point. You're you know, I don't know. You're rubbing two pennies together. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're. It's just it's a ramshackle. It's Mickey Mousing it together. Whatever the phrases are, you just can't do it. Right? You know, you've got to have the investment. You got to generate the revenue. You got to have the ability to put multiple bids on the table and have the risk of getting them both accepted. That's what it's going to take. And say, you know what? Got both these. One of these players might not start. We'll only start 10 games from me. I'm going to be paying for them to whatever. I'm going to be paying for them to ride the bench. But that's what I've got to do. So, and they're now he's not, to my expectation, not willing to do that. City, I'm expecting it's a free hit, 2-0. I'm going to give it to City. And hey, for what it's worth, that's what it's kind of my good luck score because I said that against Chelsea and I said that against Liverpool, and we beat both those teams. I expected 2-0 losses, so it's kind of my good luck score as well. Um, I'm talking both sides of my mouth, but you get mine. Hey, you know what? We're back. We're back, baby. We're back. Ellen Road. Everybody's standing up. I'm going to be blasting, marching on together. My son's going to be like, what is this guy doing? I'm going to have my kit on early. I'm going to get the breakfast cracking. I'm going to get the cup of coffee going tomorrow morning. I'm going to have a little pregame up going. I'm going to be, you know what? Because when it kicks off, the whistle blows, Leeds got a chance, baby. All right. Marching on together. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll try to do his content as much as I can and marching on together. Leeds. Have an awesome night.